I am so destroyed by the burdens that I feel and the things that I can't control. In this project, I haven't felt like this since I was in command. I gave everything I could, in every single capacity as a young person and as a disabled person. I feel like at times I turned my back on humanity and that I wanted to disappear completely. And facing my mortality again is, I would say, in the same effectivity as a mescaline trip. And as I addressed in the last video, the roller coaster of the past few years, I don't know where to start. The concept is manifest destiny, or we become who we're supposed to be, whether we like it or not. Courage under fire. Never throw your life away for people that don't care about you. And for some people, the only other people that care about them were the friends and family they made in the military. There's there's a lot of avenues to exploit um, the goodwill of other people. I think this is a good excerpt to go by. And I wouldn't be here without this course, because everything I learned saved my life to navigate some seriously dangerous and potentially fatal situations and split second decisions. Your brain in the process of attempting to reconcile, you know, the shock with reality. Practice positive self talk. So we all remember Lance Armstrong and his rise and fall, a meteoric rise, but you know, it's like one of those cautionary tales. Your trust is so hard to earn and so easily lost. Like the same with credibility and respect. Cycling champion is also a cancer survivor. When he got sick, he told his friend cancer picked the wrong guy. When it looked around for a body to hang out in, it made a big mistake when it chose mine. Big mistake. The positive self-talk reflected in his words undoubtedly helped Armstrong to overcome the challenges of cancer and go on to win the Tour de France several times, irregardless of the doping scandal. Every Canadian knows only too well the story of Terry Fox and his battles with cancer that ended his young life. Throughout it all, he remained upbeat, and his positive attitude enabled him to run an equivalent to a marathon every day for 143 days. He has been described as Canada's true hero. I've hated turning the screws on people. You know, it's not fun. There's a to it has two, of course, left and right hand method, right? You have the positive and negative reinforcements, which some people would call manipulation, but it used to be called um, grooming. But of course, the context of that word has changed, and I don't like using it for that reason. So, um, educated for the task. Visualize a positive image of yourself. Avoid comparing yourself with others. Reframe appropriately. So, reframing is the process of redefining events and experiences from a different point of view. Well, I guess the dog is unhappy about this. Just as reframing a work of art can give the painting a whole new look, reframing events that cause us to devalue our self worth can change our perspective. Research suggests that in times of family stress Individuals who are able to engage in self talk and describe the event from someone else's perspective manage stress more successfully. If, for example, you get a report from your supervisor that says you should improve one area of your performance, instead of listening to the self talk that says you're bad at that job, reframe the event within a larger context. Tell yourself that one negative comment does not mean you are hopeless as a worker. But in contracting, as it has been in my experience in my career since I graduated school, in a lot of cases you are only good as your last mistake. And the attitude towards some contractors by employees was either hostile or aggressive. It only in a few cases was actually hospitable. Develop honest relationships. Let go of the past. You know, again, as I said in the last video, there's always another war. There's always another conflict. We don't have to go running into these fires, expecting to be these. Hey Zoe, how are you? She's laying on my pillow now. Anyway, we can't always. Let's get this right. We can't go running into these burning buildings all the time, and expect for any of these, even to save a life, is going to be fulfilling. You might get into certain moods where it's like, like the people that, if it was just 1 second sooner, or if I just said that nice thing, would that have changed their day? And so reframing, you got a bony butt, Zoe. You know that? Ow! It's in my leg. Um, and then it's going about self-esteem and self-image, how self-concept affect, right, with an A. Affects interpersonal communication and relationships. And from what I'm hearing about like the military in the States, is that it's far behind. Excuse me, that's goodness. I'm like freaking leaking everywhere. And there's always, maybe the guilt or the regret of, again, not having done something sooner, not contributing more, not caring more, or at least but we can't save everyone, right? I know that in my own life, by my actions, that I have been responsible for the continuation of their lives. No, this is one of those things that I get really frustrated with because of, the order of hierarchy, um, of status and of attraction in our North American society as it is in 2024. Because as I've expressed before, and older people or of my generation or before, so millennials and Gen Xers, the boomers, anyone that had most, half of their life or more before the internet, that it was so much easy. Excuse me. It was so much easier to get a girlfriend because we had social skills, and I'm not going to judge the younger generation, but again, we're getting very highly atomized, and it's not like anything um, we've ever seen before. And the communication, these are things that get me annoyed. Um, so communication styles, social learning approaches, assertiveness and responsiveness, need for control, need for affection. So that's reflective of tell me what you want. Hey, Zoe. It looks like our muzzle just made a guest appearance. Um, Zoe, quit it, quit it, quit it. Okay. Um, and I started this painting around the date of the Montreal Massacre. And if you're not familiar with the Montreal Massacre, it was a male engineering student that took an M14 into the Polytechnique and shot a bunch of female engineering students because there wasn't, good communication, and he was awkward more than likely, and all the women rejected him, and so he felt that he had to level the playing fields. And this is unfortunate because the realities of highly politicized and female focused social movements that tip the scales and unbalance the dating game. So then we're getting into the Johari window. I'm looking at this. So understanding how we learn about ourselves from others. So the mirroring and self reflection. And again, this can lead to moments of paranoia and anxiety, especially amongst introverted or younger people whom have experienced a social apathy, because that's what it is, right? The communication. If you don't use it, you'll lose it, and that's why I'm encouraging, again, like a task force to be formed. And as I've been like reasoning out in some of these videos and also over the past 2 years of a JTF3 or something along those lines. Basically, uh, a drugs interception squad, highly specialized, with members taken from different branches of Canadian law enforcement and drug rehabilitation and mental health, because that's what it's going to take. We're going to have to sit down at the table with the distributors, and that's my inclination as to why the Montreal mob hit happened, was because someone had too much power in their hands and became drunk with it, and they wanted everything, and they were willing to kill for it. And that's being encouraged by mood altering chemicals and pharmaceuticals, mood stabilizers, which would otherwise, in the wrong person, unbalance the hormones and cause cancerous growths. and atrophy of hormone producing organs, which is a problem. Don't ask me how I know all this. All I can tell you is that I've spent my entire life to figure these things out, and my hope is that I can be correct at least half of the time. You know, what you see and what you hear depends a good deal on where you are standing. It also depends on what sort of person that you are. So the person that I choose to be is far, far better, no matter what. So, psychology, this is group psychology of human relations, and class dismissed.